about, and so on. Go ahead and let us know.
Okay, let me get that part in. Well, One Family Fellowship is our church, man, that God has blessed us with the vision with. It's really all about multiple different kinds of people, multicultural people, coming together as one and trying to do our best to bring the body of Christ together as one instead of being so separated, behind race and behind denomination. And God just gave us a bigger vision, man, and it's a beautiful thing, and I'm excited about it. It's in Mesquite, Texas, 502 West Kearney in Mesquite, Texas, and good things are happening.
That's what I'm talking about. You like that, Benchwarmer, don't you?
Anytime you're doing things for God, it's always going to be good things happening.
That's right. And we honor God on this show. First and foremost, when we start the show, we start off with a spiritual song every single time and give God his praise. That's for sure. And that's how we start every show.
Then we go and sing. Then we got to pray after the show.
No, don't start that, man.
You need to pray about that Desmond Howard thing, though.
Okay, so let me go ahead and ask Pastor Robinson the question. Let me ask him. No, let me ask him.
Well, he started it on me.
Okay, so, the Benchwarmer is bringing up Heisman Trophy winners that became a bust in the NFL. I'm trying to label who was the worst out of all of them. We named Andre Ware, Gino Torretta. Who else did you name?
Well, we got Tim Tebow, Eric Couch, Chris Winkie, Ron Dane, Danny Wolfel, Rashawn Salam. We got a bunch of busts. Okay. Todd Detmer, Andre Ware. Desmond Howard he's not in that class right there.
He won the Heisman Trophy. Okay, I understand that. Okay, but when he came in the NFL, he came as a wide receiver, but we all knew that he had his skill set was basically from kick return and punt returning. He went to the Super Bowl with Green Bay. Yes, he won Super Bowl MVP, but you're telling me that because he won a Super Bowl MVP does not qualify him for being a bust, no matter what he does after he did that.
Listen, he had 10 years in the NFL, from 92 to 2002.
Okay.
That don't sound like a bust to me, number one.
Okay, 10 years.
Number two.
But what did he do for his team?
Number two, within that time period between Green Bay, Oakland, and Oakland, 96, 97, 98, he returned over 1,400, 1,500, 1,500 yards 3 times in a row. That's not a bust to me. He had 21.9 yards per return that year.
That sounds like a Green Bay fan.
No. Oh, no. No. I'm just saying. I see what he can do. He can be dangerous. When he caught when Gino Torretta had the ball, were you scared?
No.
When Jason White had the ball, were you scared?
No.
Matt Leinart, were you scared? Any of these players that I mentioned before, were you scared?
No.
You was glad they got the ball because we probably throw an interception or something. When he caught the ball as a punt returner, he had an opportunity, and he took that opportunity. He could have gone all the way at any time. You had some type of reverence of, here comes Desmond Howard. Even though he wasn't great as a receiver, as a punt returner, kick returner, he was good at his job.
What's your thoughts, Pastor Robinson?
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily qualify him as a bust, but I wouldn't put him in a conversation because he's a teams player. I mean, think about it. Larry Brown won MVP of the Super Bowl. Come on.
Okay, I got you. You got me there.
See, I brought someone on the phone that got you.
You got me with the Larry Brown thing. I mean, but Bill Bates was a special teams player. Bill Bates was not a bust in the NFL, but he was a special teams player, and that's all he did was special teams.
Hey, but Bill Bates, man, he had heart. You know that.
Well, I understand that. I'm just saying Desmond Howard was not a bust as a Heisman Trophy winner based off the standards that we put in. Our standards, that means that you only had like 2 or 3 years and you was gone. No team wanted you anymore. He's played for Washington, Jacksonville, Green Bay, Oakland, and Detroit.
He was basically Desmond Hatcher.
Yeah, he was not a bust. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
All right. I'll back off.
I'm the Benchwarmer for a reason.
I will back off.
But
okay.
Pastor, you brought up something that we need to dig into.
Uh-oh.
Let's go R&B. This what is this? Boyz II Men versus
Jodeci.
Jodeci?
Right. All right, so I'm gonna go and let the bench warmer go ahead and tell me who's the better group, Jodeci or Boyz II Men.
I'm going to say Boyz II Men. I'm going to tell you why. Because Boyz II Men, all four of them sing. Jodeci was number 2. Casey and JoJo. The rest of them were just back up.
Well, it was more than 2 for Jodeci.
No, it was just Casey and JoJo. That was it. The other 2 were just sitting back there, acting like they singing.
Okay. Let me get with you on that. You got to think, though. Devontae and Dalvin never proclaimed to be singers.
Hey, Pastor, can you? I think your mouth's too close to the phone. Can you kind of?
Okay.
There you go. Okay. Okay, we can hear you now. Go ahead.
Is that better?
Yes, sir.
You're good.
Okay. Devontae and Dalvin never claimed to. That's the first thing. Everybody knows it was the production, which made the music tracks and all kind of stuff. When it came to Boyz II Men, the harmony was tight. It was great. It was cool. But me personally, coming up through the ranks, and I appreciated people that had to try to get to where they were, and not necessarily be studio made.
Well, wait, Boyz II Men was not studio made, though. Boyz II Men were not studio made.
If you remember the lead singer for Abject named Mark Nelson?
Uh-huh.
He was the original lead singer for Boyz II Men.
Yeah, but where did
Ego got him kicked out the group?
Boyz II Men came out of BVD. That's that Motown
you heard
Philly.
That from Michael Bivins. What else are you supposed to say?
That's
Motown Philly, of course. I mean, yeah, they came out of Philly, but they were more
Boyz
of a
II Men,
prepared group.
But that harmonized.
I'm not saying that they can't sing.
But we're talking about.
But me personally, I just appreciate the rawness of Jodeci. Look up Little Cedric Haley and the Haley Fingers, gospel group back in the 80s. That was Jodeci.
Oh, yeah, I understand that. I couldn't help it. The only thing about Jodeci is that was their song line in every song. Ooh, yeah, that's all. Every song. Ooh, yeah, you knew it was coming in every song.
But you know, Jodeci had more of a gospel feel than anything.
But why would they try to go R&B?
It's not about trying to go R&B.
But they did go. I mean,
that we have nowadays.
Trust me, I drove home at 12 o'clock midnight listening to Jodeci.
Artists, and what happens is the world grab a hold to them and put money behind them, and then they go off and do different things, and all of a sudden the same sound that we've been hearing for 50, 60 years turns out to be a new sound in R&B. Look at Happy by Pharrell. If you read the interview, he straight up said that he started thinking about how things go at church, and now he got a hit.
Right.
Because of how he came off of what, he felt like, people at church would want to listen to. So people have been robbing the church for a long time.
Well, I mean, don't we all? I don't pay tithes every Sunday. I ain't gonna lie.
Wow.
Hey, I got to put the truth out there. I don't pay tithes every Sunday. I mean, we all rob the church. All I'm saying is this right here. When you talk about Boyz II Men, Boyz II Men had a more fuller sound. They had a more complete sound, and they had their range was a lot greater than Jodeci. Jodeci was more of a slow moving, slow song. Just that small range. Boyz II Men can hit that Motown Philly back again, and they can hit that How Do I Say Goodbye, Cool It How, which I just watched the other night.
Well, Boyz II Men they were more crossover.
Yeah, a lot more crossover.
Jodeci was more true to their culture, and people within their culture will appreciate them more than they would a Boyz II Men.
I don't know. I think number one, you bring up a good comparison. I think this comparison, we can put this on Facebook and let it ride and see what happens. But I think both of them had it. They both came out in the same era, same time period. The only thing about it is I think that their sounds, you have more acapella than you have singing. Jodeci was not necessarily an acapella type of group. Boyz II Men was more of an acapella type group, but I think they both can ride on their own wave.
Let me ask you this, and I'll be real with you. You were in college, right?
Yeah.
On your slow jam tape, who you had playing?
Okay. We got to preference that. Okay, we got to preface that question. What slow jam tape was I playing? Was I playing a ride home slow jam tape, or was I riding home with somebody with that tape? We gotta answer that question first. Cause see,
you were already in your dorm.
Oh, I'm in my dorm. Am I in my dorm just chilling by myself, or in my dorm?
Don't play.
Because I did have one of those tapes, and I tell you who was on that tape too. I had Isley Brothers spend the night. I had between the two. Oh man, I'd have to. Okay, you got me. I'd do some Jodeci. I mean, not. I had some Jodeci on that tape. But here's the deal. Though. Boyz II Men was the start of that tape. Jodeci was like middle. Okay, Boyz II Men was start. Yeah, they started it off. I understand that. I hear what you. Yeah, Jodeci was the middle, but the topper, and you got to roll with this one right here. It was Moments in Love. Remember that? Yeah. Remember that? Yeah, that was the end.
Yeah, I got that.
Spend the Night was right before that one. So, my Jodeci was the middle because my Jodeci was Warm Up. Then you move past that Warm Up. By the time you get to Moments in Love, it's over. It should be.
Then watch it. You use Boyz II Men as your appetizer.
That's the start. Yeah. That's kind of
Jodeci was your meal.
Yeah.
And Moments in Love was your dessert.
Well, I'll tell you this right here. Jodeci was when you first get the meal. It's the first thing you ate off the plate when you first get the meal. It wasn't the dig-in meal. It wasn't the steak. It's the first thing. First thing you ate when you go to your steakhouse. What was that back then? It was Red Lobster. When you go to your Red Lobster and your steak, your A1. What was that steakhouse that we used to have back off of Camp Wisdom? You know what I'm talking about.
Camp Wisdom.
Yeah, there used to be a steakhouse off of Camp Wisdom.
Steak and Ale.
Steak and Ale. You go to your Steak and Ale. Well, Jodeci was the first thing you ate. Maybe your salad or something like that, because you get your salad first. It wasn't the appetizer, because the appetizer was there. So they was the salad that kind of gets you ready for the meal. When the meal came, by the time you get digging that steak, you at spend the night. You at you right there at Isley Brothers, and after Isley Brothers, this Moments in Love after that, and that's a 10-minute.
This is the thing. Why we so caught up on like the 90s version of music is because even then the songs were saying something.
Yes.
And nowadays you don't have like that variety. I know I'm a pastor, and God knows I've been with my wife, for over 13 years, and I love my wife, but we connected back in the 90s. And so therefore, we were just good friends in the 90s. And so what happens is a lot of those songs put you back into the memory of when you first saw that person.
Yes, it does.
And so I would be, lying if I told you if I'm spending time with my wife, I'm listening to Mississippi Man. That ain't happening. If it's just me and my baby, we watch, like you said, Moments in Love. We listen to Basic Black. We probably listening to Jodeci and some Boyz II Men or whatever, Ohio players, because the music meant something back then.
Or I'll give you another group, Shy.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I had that playing too. Now they was just they was just before Boyz II Men.
Exactly.
See, I had one of them tapes. See, back then you had to make one of them tapes.
They were 92. I want to say right around April, May of 92.
Yeah, they was 90, 92, 93. I actually have a story about them. When I was in that business, in the music business, they came down. We was doing a talent show, and they was one of the talents. They was the last talent, and my job was to get the talent to the stage. My job was also to interview the talent before I can bring them on.
Right.
So I actually brought them on so they're good. Mm-hmm. Well, after they finished, they kind of tore it up. I mean, just tore it up. Well, one of the guys that I knew that was out of Warner Brothers said, "Do I know them?" I said, "Well, I met them down the hall." He said, "Okay, have them call your house Monday at 12 o'clock, and then call me when they call you." And then they hooked up, and that happened to be Shy.
Wow.
And so the rest is history.
Wow. Okay, I know our break is coming up real quick. Real quick, Pastor Robinson, Kobe or LeBron, and why?
Oh, wow, you were getting with that. I would have to go with Kobe.
Whoa. Okay.
I would have to go with Kobe.
And the reason?
Simply because, when you look at, nothing against LeBron. LeBron is an all-around athletic freak. But when it comes to just the all-around game, Kobe been in the game for a minute. He did it with Shaq.